All right, 722. So the warm-up says, using the method from the previous lesson, find the exponential equation through the points. So we're going to make a table, so x, y, and put those 2 points in. So 0, 6, then we have to go up to 4, 1, nothing, 2, nothing, 3, nothing, and then 4, 30.375. So we want to plug into y equals a times b to the x power. So our starting amount is a, and we've got 6, and then b is the multiplier. So we're going to do 30.375 divided by 6 to figure out what that whole hop is. So 5.0625, and then we are going 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to take the fourth root of that. So 5.0625. The fourth root of that is going to be 1.5. So our multiplier is 1.5, and then to the x power. So the next two are, again, the same stuff. So let's look at these. So for this one, I've got starting at -2. Even though the first one's at 2, I'm going to start at -2. And 28, -1, nothing, 0, nothing, 1, and then 2, 1.75. So then I'm going to divide first because I don't have my 0th term, so we'll start there. 1.75 divided by 28 equals, oh, I don't have any space. Let me make it a little bit further out. 1.75 divided by 28 equals 0.0625. And then I've got to figure out how many hops. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to take the fourth root of 0.0625. And you should get 0.5. So that's your multiplier. So then I'm taking 28 and multiplying by 0.5 until I get to the 0th term. So 28 times 0.5 to get the next one, which is 14. And then 14 times 0.5 is going to give me 7. So my equation is y equals 7 times 0.5 to the x power. And the next one, we're going to do the same stuff here. And we actually have the same locations of our numbers at -2 and 2. And then we've got to figure out our multiplier, so we're going to divide. And when you do that, you get 5.0625. And then we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 hops. So we're taking the fourth root of 5.0625. And you should be getting 1.5. So then I take 8 and multiply by 1.5 to get to the next number. And I do that until I get to the 0. So then I write y equals our 0th term times the multiplier to the x power. So then the next part, it says a new notation for roots. So looking at this next one, it says simplify each expression. So doing this to the 5th and this to the 5th means I'm multiplying the exponents. So 3 times 5 and 4 times 5. So 3 times 5 is 15, so x to the 15. And then y to the 20, 4 times 5. And then the next one, if you are taking the square root of 25 and then squaring it, what this is doing, the square root versus squaring, cancels each other out. It's like saying like +2 minus 2, those cancel each other out. So what happens is those two things go away and you just get 25. And then in the next one, this is the same idea. When you cube root and then cube something, they are canceling each other out. So you just get the 14. So then the next page on the back, changing roots to exponents. So this is a little different. The way you do this, if I want to change the square root of x, I would write it as x to the 1/2 power. The 2 from the square root goes on the bottom of the fraction. So then now we have a 3, a 4, and a 5. So it's x to the 1/3, x to the 1/4, and x to the 1/5. So the idea here is that normally you have like x squared, and then here you have a square root. So the number on the bottom would be the square root part. So we'll look at that a little more in a second. So then it says rewrite the expressions with an exponent instead of a root. So this would be 17 and then 1/3, because there's that root there. And then there's no number here, so that's 5 to the 1/2 because it's a square root. And then 11 to the 1/5. And then this one is a little different. So it's 8 squared and then over 3. And then 12 to the 4th over 3. 32 to the 2nd over 5. Now you try 1 and 2, and I will write the answers on there for you. Make sure you're checking those answers. And then looking at what if we know them to a fractional exponent and we want to change it with roots, or the square root symbol, or whatever root it is, sorry. So the number on top is telling you to what power something is. So like, let's look at the first one. This is 5 to the 1st power, and this is the root. The number on bottom is the root. So it's the square root. You can either write the 2 or leave it blank, because we know for that it's square root, and then 5 to the 1st power. So another way to write this is just the square root of 5. This one is 9 to the 1st power and the 3rd root of that. So we could also write it as just 9 3rd root. And then the next one is 12 to the 1st power, the 4th root of that, because the 4 is on bottom. So again, the number on bottom is the root number. So you can throw that out there, and then 4 squared on the inside because the 2 on the top. So 6 to the 5th power, and then take the 4th root of that. And then x to the 3rd power, take the 7th root of that. Now you try 3 and 4. Make sure you're checking your answers. Okay, so then the next one says, Raina went to college and took out a student loan. While in college, no payments are made, but the interest still accumulates on the original amount every year. After 2 years of being in school, Raina saw that she owed $17,505.69. She continued her schooling, went on to get her master's degree and then PhD. After 10 years of being in school and not making any payments, she looked at her statement again, and now she owes $27,901.41. What is the multiplier? So this set of numbers need to be used as one of my points. And then this set of numbers needs to be used as another one of my points. So, and then I think she started, nope, we don't know how much she started with. So we need to know how much she started with at some point. And then we've got 2 years she's at 17,505.69, and then all the way down to 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and at 10 she's at 27,901.41. So to find the multiplier, we're going to divide these numbers. So 27,901.41 divided by 17,505.69. And then when you do that, let me do that real quick. You get 1.59384, all kinds of numbers. And I'm just going to leave that in there and take whatever root it is and copy and paste it. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hops. So I have to take the eighth root of that. So taking the 8th root of that. It's again a long decimal, but we're going to round this one here. 1.059, so 1.06 would be our multiplier. So it says, what is the interest rate? So 1.06 would be converted into a percent of 106%. So the interest rate is 6% because you're taking 100 and then adding 6% to it. So 6% is the interest rate. And then it says how much was her original loan, and that's why it's important that we have this table. So we're going to go backwards. We're going to take that 17,505.69 and divide it by 1.06 to get 1, so 16,514.80, and I had to round that, and then divide it by 1.06 again, and that's 15,580. And remember, since we're dealing with money, just make sure you're careful on the rounding with that. All right, and then there's some practice here. So I'm going to put the answers on all of these, and I want you to try to practice these. So I will get those down, and I'll be quiet, and the sub can just pause this while you're using this to practice. And then as you get done, there is homework, so make sure you're picking that up and working on it.